I wanted to talk on this topic for a reason, because we have to remind ourselves chanting is the most important thing in our lives. But the question why this seminar is for a particular reason, I'm going to discuss 3 questions now in regards to chanting. The first question is, why is chanting so important in our lives? Why is that? And this question carries another few sub-questions in that. And the next question is, how to chant? Some practical tips, also the attitude. And the third question is, what is good chanting? How do we know my chanting is proper or not? There has to be some parameters there. What are those parameters? Otherwise, we'll be just chanting for 20, 25, 30 years and we'll never know what we are doing. And that often happens, isn't it? Often happens with many of us. So these 3 questions, why chanting is so important, how to chant, and the third question is, what is good chanting? Okay, so let's start with neither of these questions, because before starting I just want to tell you what is bad chanting. That's important also to know. We're all doing that. So I just made it up, by the way. It's not there in any scripture. It's not there. I just made it up to get the point through. These are some kind of chantings I noted, and we all been doing this. Probably today morning also we may be doing something like this, but we have to guard against this. So the first type of chanting, what is submarine chanting, which I noted, and we all do sometimes when we are tired or when we are bored. And I think I like to demonstrate that, because otherwise you'll not understand what's that all about. Okay, submarine chanting you all know. When you're tired or something is happening, you're sitting and then you're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It goes like that. You're up and down, and your one round is taking 𝗂𝗍 𝗪𝗂𝗍. Like, it's not finishing. That's submarine chanting. There's something called machine gun chanting. When you have to go to office, you're getting late, or you have to do something, or you simply want to finish your rounds. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. I don't know whether this person will go to Krishna Lok or Krishna Krishna Lok. I don't know what's happening. People don't pronounce properly. They chant very fast. Of course, Prabhupada used to chant very fast all too. Prabhupada used to chant. We know his chanting, isn't it? Many times, sometimes normal, sometimes very fast. There are recordings like that. But at the same time, there's a difference between Prabhupada and us. For him, just like I was telling yesterday, for him chanting is not to make him remember about God. It's not the way like that. For him, chanting is a result of remembrance. He's remembering Krishna and spontaneously he's chanting Krishna's name. Actually, for him, chanting is result of intense remembrance of God. Or let's say, he's feeling separation from Krishna, and that's why he's chanting to console himself. That's how it goes. That's how we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's at that level. For us, chanting is to make us remember about Krishna. And if we try to just finish chanting, chant fast, we'll never remember him. We have to come in contact with holy names. It's not, the idea is not to finish. That's machine gun chanting. Third is radar chanting, that we all do. Your radar is not fixed. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You are all over. You're doing something, Hare Krishna, you're seeing all these pictures, you're going somewhere, I don't know what is happening. It's all radar chanting, not fixed. Electric shock chanting, this you will note in Vrindavan, Prabhupada house especially. People are moving wildly while chanting. You have known that? You have seen this? They move. They're like not stable. I don't know what's happening to them, but something is definitely happening to them. but maybe not spiritual, they're just chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, they're just moving. I don't know what's happening. We are here to love God. Sometimes we become mad in love, but sometimes I don't know why they're doing, I have no idea. But chanting is supposed to make you peaceful and happy and calm, it's like that. And there is last can't chanting. This is our problem. Can't chant. I can't chant, Prabhupada. I think Prabhupada said this. Chant, can't, I think. So yeah, these are types of chanting. We have to protect ourselves. Okay, so let's go to the first question. Why chanting is the most important duty? And the main purpose of this seminar is also, one of the main purposes is to tell you about chanting. Another purpose of this seminar is to make an impression of you that Srila Prabhupada books are perfect. We might think that we need other books. That's okay. We can read other Acharya books and that's perfectly fine. That's why we have Parampara. But a base is Prabhupada books, and whatever you will find in Prabhupada books, that is there in other books, and whatever you will find in other books, that is definitely there in Prabhupada books. There might be something in Prabhupada books which you will not find anywhere. The other way it goes. Because Prabhupada is writing out of his realizations. So Prabhupada always touches on very important foundational points. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'm going to show you all Prabhupada evidences so that you also realize that you have to read Prabhupada books very carefully. Sometimes he mentions only one point in his entire book, and that's a very important point. We can't skip. So Prabhupada says in Chaitanya Charitamrita 15 chapter 107 purport, he quotes Jiva Goswami, by the way, and we should all remember this verse he says, Jiva Goswami states in the book Bhakti Sandarbh 173. It's a very famous quotation from Jiva Goswami. Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhaktivedanta Thakur always used to quote this line. We should remember this. That is, Yadyapi annay bhakti kalau kartavya tadas kirtanakhe bhakti sanyoganeva. Simple Sanskrit. Out of 9 processes of devotional service, kirtan is very important. Jiva Goswami therefore instructs that other processes such as Archana, Vandana, Dase, Sakhe should be executed, but they must be preceded and followed by the kirtan. So you see this Sanskrit Yadyapi, simple. Yadyapi, although, Anne means other, this is Anne, other. Bhakti means devotion, Kalau means in Kali Yuga, Kartavya means duty. Although all limbs of devotion you must practice in Kali Yuga, that's okay. But tada, still, Kirtanakhya, Bhakti, the limb of Kirtana should be Sanyoganeva. Sanyoganeva means it should be combined with all other limbs. Simple Sanskrit. So that's the idea. All limbs should be preceded and followed by Kirtan. Therefore, Prabhupada says in our centers, Archana, Arati, Bhog offering, deity dressing, decoration, all are preceded and followed by chanting of holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You see that's how the idea goes. Any service we do, either we are chanting in the mind, we are singing the holy names, or we are chanting on beads. It should be combined. Otherwise, the effect is not there. The question is why? That's the question. Why can't we read just Bhagavatam and skip chanting? Bhagavatam is also Krishna, isn't it? It's not holy names of Krishna. Why can't we just keep on eating prasad? Prasad is also Krishna. No? We can do that. Or maybe deities are also, deities of course, they are Krishna. So why do you need chanting? Especially combined with all these limbs. Otherwise they don't give effect. They might give a negative effect also, if there's no chanting. So why is that? Why is chanting most important duty? Now keep in mind, you might have some kind of reasons in your mind why chanting is most important duty. Okay, let's ask you, and then I would like to make another point there. Can anybody tell me why chanting is most important duty?
To purify consciousness, the
Okay, fine. Yeah. So here is my argument. To purify consciousness, you can purify consciousness by reading Bhagavatam. Deity worship.
It's the Yuga Dharma.
Yuga Dharma, that's my question. Why it is a Yuga Dharma?
Invested, holy name is invested with the, by God's special protection.
Bhagavatam is not?
I mean, it's
What?
many times that there is no difference between holy name and the Lord.
That is the only mode of worship recommended by scripture.
By scripture, I don't want scripture, it's blind faith. Logic has to be there in scripture. If you accept scripture without logic, that's blind faith. Isn't?
Connection.
Yes, Guru?
Because the vibration itself has the pure effect, no matter what you do.
The vibration of the sound has
Vibration
yeah.
Hare Krishna Maha
That's fine.
is effectual, irrespective of your understanding.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
Srila Prabhupada said, chant to a slug.
Okay, fine. I accept everything. But here's my argument. Prabhupada's, what's that? Bullets worked. Prasadam. That is also affects even without our consciousness. So let's eat gulab jamuns all day. Was that? To remember? Yeah, I mean Bhagavatam also you can remember.
Actually, when you keep chanting and then you exercise it, like say,
Well, no, just make your answer short. If the answer is long, I come to conclusion it's wrong. That's my conclusion. If anybody answers long, it means it's wrong. Because
train your mind so that you can remember at the end of
okay, fine. Remember, fine. But the point is, Bhagavatam also you can remember. You can keep on reading Bhagavatam. Many people read Bhagavatam, isn't it? So.
Krishna, if we take Krishna's word as final, Krishna says Yajnanam Japa Yajna.
No. I don't want his word. I want logic. No. It's blind faith. Then you are having blind faith on Krishna. No, that doesn't work. This is age of logic, Prabhupada said. And that's okay. Krishna gives logic in Gita also. Krishna says, Arjuna, fight, and then he gives logic. He doesn't want anybody to have blind faith on him also. He's God. He can convince us. And he has good logic. He's super intelligent. He should have. He's not a dumb fellow. So I'm asking a question for the purpose now here. You get my point there.
Simple process.
Simple process? What's this? Simple what? Prasadam is eating is more simple. Or chanting is the most difficult there. What? Isn't it? It's the most difficult thing on planet. Chanting. Come on, this is the most difficult thing in what we are doing here. To connect is, we are sitting in Vaikuntha, this temple. Vaikuntha bubble, they used to call Vaikuntha bubble.
Parikshit Maharaj asked a question to Shuka.
No, give me logic. No Parikshit, no Sukhdev, no Krishna. You see the point there? You see the point why I'm asking you this question? Because sometimes, now I'm asking for a purpose. Sometimes we think we know the answer, but we don't know. Why? Because we assume our answer is right. But the point is, when you start thinking about that answer, you sometimes can't find the root logic there. And if we can't do that, then we miss some points which are very important. And the point there is, why I'm asking you this question, what I'm asking you is not why chanting is most important. If I reframe the question is what is so unique in holy name which is not there in all other limbs? That's the question. And that is why chanting has to be combined with other limbs. You see the point? Something chanting has which reading Bhagavatam, Prasadam they cannot do. That's the question there. If you can pinpoint that, then we can understand, then we can actually glorify chanting holy names as they are. Otherwise, we don't really understand the importance. and then we will not be able to, we will not be inspired to chant and focus on holy names. You see the point there? That's why I asked you this question, to do this exercise. Yeah? Sound is, then you have to prove to me it's most powerful medium. Where is the experiment? If you say it's written in scripture, it's blind faith. You see the point there? There is something happening there. Okay, I'll tell you. No problem. Yes, Prabhu, you want to speak?
I was going to say, I think you already answered. I was going to say, people are lazy, people are unregulated, people are...
Oh, that's what my argument is, prasadam.
Yeah, but then you already answered that. The other one is, chanting is the most pleasing form of
Okay, fine. I can accept this answer, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this. But I made a point now. That's why this is exercise, that's all. So the point is, there are 5 reasons why chanting is most important, or in other words, there are 5 things which chanting has, and no other limb of devotion can do what holy name can do. 5 things. And Prabhupada mentions that in his books. And the first thing is, why chanting is most important is, you have heard this name Aparadh Bhanjan? This word is used by Bhaktivedanta Thakur, by the way, in his book, many times. Even Vaishnav songs, this word is there. Chanting destroys not only sins but offenses against the Lord. That's aparadh means offenses. Now the point is, offense against all the limbs of devotions can be dissolved and liquefied by chanting. But offense against chanting holy names can only be liquefied by holy names. That's what. So in morning we chant 10 offenses. Before 10 offenses there is another verse. So these 10 offenses are mentioned in Padma Puran. But when this list begins, there is another verse. And that verse says that only by chanting you can get rid of offenses in chanting. And then these offenses are there. So you see the point Prabhupada says. So there is no other limb which can destroy offenses against holy names. It will not happen. That is why chanting is very important in the process of devotional service. And also chanting destroys offenses very fast, more than any other limb. And why is that? And here is the answer for that. This is Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 6th chapter, 33rd verse. Now this thing, I was reading 1st canto, and this thing is so important that we cannot afford to miss it. But nevertheless we'll miss it because Prabhupada never repeats it. Nowhere in his book, nowhere in conversations, nowhere in morning walks. And if you can tell me how this is connected to that, I'll be more than happy. Why I'm quoting this evidence? Prabhupada says it is natural psychology in every individual case that a person likes to hear and enjoy his personal glories enumerated by others. That is a natural instinct. And the Lord, being also an individual personality like others, is not an exception to this psychology. Because psychological characteristics visible in individual souls are but reflection of same psychology in absolute Lord. This is beautiful. I mean to say, whatever we have, Krishna has, or whatever Krishna has, we have, isn't it? So, okay, let me ask you a question. We are envious. Is Krishna envious? What this quotation says. Whatever psychology we have, that's coming from absolute truth. Now, this is a question for you. Keep it. I'm not going to discuss this. But whatever we have, it should be there in spiritual world. But how do we then understand? We can't say Krishna is envious, definitely. But how do we understand? This is a reflection of spiritual word. So there's nothing. Okay, the spiritual word has everything. Okay, spiritual word has dogs. Yes or no? Whatever is there should be there. Well, there is a dog in Vrindavan. It's dear to Krishna. Well, it's just roaming around in Vrindavan somewhere. I don't know. It's not there, but the name of the dog is given. Krishna likes. Of course, it doesn't stay in the home, but it's there. So you see the point. The point is, if I glorify you, you all become happy, isn't it? Any one of you. Any one of you will become very happy if I start glorifying you. I mean to say, we can do a simple experiment. Okay, what's your name, Prabhu?
Abhay.
Okay, if I start chanting Abhay, 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 and you all start chanting Abhay, 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 see, he's laughing. He can't stop happiness. He's just 4 times I did. It's not even 16 rounds. He's so happy. It's reflex, you can't stop it. Even if I call you here and if I say you should not become happy and everybody chants your name, you will not be able to stop it. It's a reflex. We are somehow wired for that, through false ego or whatever, but it's there. Krishna has the same thing in him. When you chant his names, immediately becomes happy. It's a reflex for him. He can't stop becoming happy. The same psychology there, Prabhupada says. And that's why when you chant Hare Krishna, automatically starts smiling. Now here's a question. What this has to do with that? With liquefying offenses, what's happening? What's the connection? Can anybody think about it?
Sorry, what's the question?
Huh?
What's the question?
My question is, I told chanting destroys offenses very fast and effectively, even against holy name. I am quoting this evidence. Now what this evidence has to do with that? What's the link?
An offense would indicate you're doing something against something else. So, if your offense is against the holy name, well, to me that's against Krishna. But if you're attracting Krishna, then he would be inclined to forgive you.
Okay, fine. Yeah, perfect. The idea is, when somebody is happy, he tends to forgive. That's all of us, isn't it? So if you want to meet your boss after committing a mistake, what do? You meet him in a good mood or bad mood? Good mood. There are more chances to, to things to get settled. So when you are in good mood, you tend to forgive. And that's why Krishna says, keep me in good mood. Because he knows that automatically he'll forgive. Because you see, Krishna is in a big problem there. He's standing there, but he's in a problem. And the problem is, he is the supreme judge. He can't avoid doing justice. You see, he is the head. If he does partiality, there's a problem. And that's whole 7th canto is dedicated on this one question. Why God is partial? And whole 7th canto is there. Whole Sandarbh, this Paramatma Sandarbh is dedicated to this question, is God partial or not? It's a very important thing. If you find your leader partial, everybody loses faith. If anybody of you have managed even a small unit, you can't be partial if things go haywire. So the point is, Krishna is in a problem. He'll judge. At the same time, he wants to extend his mercy. So he tries to do many things, and one of the main thing is, he says, okay, chant my names, and I'll be happy. And when he's in happy mood, he'll forgive. And if somebody asks him, why did you forgive him? Well, I was happy. I can't help it out. He has an excuse. He keeps on finding excuses to extend mercy to devotees. That's, by the way, one of the names of Krishna in Vishnu Sahasranam. The name is Nimila, Animila. There are 2 names of Vishnu. Nimila means he closes his eyes. Animila means he opens his eyes. Or it is like Nimisha and Animisha. Not Nimila, Nimisha. Nimi from Nimi Maharaj, eyelids. So Krishna closes, when anybody does offenses, the point is, he opens his eyes. The point is, why he opens his eyes? To find an excuse to extend mercy. And he has to do that, because if he doesn't find an excuse, you will never get any mercy. We are messing up with his process. We are doing so many offenses. If he just goes by rules, This much you are chanting, this much you are doing offense, this much you are doing service. You will never get mercy. It's impossible. We can't even chant 16 rounds properly. What kind of mercy he'll give if he goes by the rules? It's not possible. That is why he has to take form of Mahaprabhu. I mean to say, Krishna wanted to find an excuse, but he couldn't really find even an excuse, because he asked you to chant and he can't even chant and make him happy. So he thought, well, I've got to do something. So that's why he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he made himself happy himself, even without us chanting. You see the point? He intoxicated himself with happiness. He said, okay, fine, I know you guys are complete crazy, you can't even chant. Okay, you can't even make me happy, I will make myself happy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then I can extend mercy to everybody. You see the point there? That's Namo Mahavadanyaya, Mahaprabhu. That is his mercy there. His Namo, why we say Mahaprabhu, the most merciful? Because he makes himself happy. So Yogyata Nakarha Vichar, that verse, he doesn't see qualifications. Because he cannot see. It's not he doesn't see, he cannot see. When he's intoxicated, you cannot see. If you take alcohol, you're intoxicated, you'll not be able to understand what's happening, who is there in front of you. You can't understand. And Mahaprabhu can't understand in ecstasy and simply embraces. You see, we all know that the same thing, it's coming from this point, it extends there. So Krishna says, okay, I'll forgive. So he says, chant my names, I'll become happy and I'll forgive all offenses. That's okay. That's why basically, that's why Krishna carries Radharani with him. Why he carries Radharani with him? Why should he carry Radharani with him? Radharani is so intimate and so special to him. Why he wants to exhibit her in public? Do you want to show your girlfriend in public? No, we don't want. But he brings Radha. Why? Because of this fact. Because when he's besides Radha, he's very happy. Her existence gives happiness to him. She even doesn't need to do any service. Just the fact she's there besides him, he's very happy. He keeps so that he's in happy mood when anybody comes. Even an ordinary man comes who is not doing devotion. He's so happy, he says, okay, I give you mercy. Otherwise, he'll just judge him. And what will happen? He'll never get delivered. So that's his endeavor. That's the first reason why we chant holy names of Krishna. Okay, the next important reason why chanting is important is chanting helps solve doubts in philosophy. Now here's a quotation from Prabhupada, letter to Jayapataka Maharaj. Prabhupada says, if chanting and following of regulations is done sincerely, without offense, all questions and doubtful points of philosophy will be cleared up by realization of Krishna from within the heart of a devotee. Now here's the point. This is a simple quotation, simple line by Prabhupada. It's not a big thing, but it's a very deep statement. Very deep statement if you really think about it. That's the point I'm impressing. Prabhupada's books looks very simple. To the point that people leave Prabhupada's books and go to Gaudiya Math. And they say those books are high. The point is they are so low that they can't even understand what is the depth of Prabhupada. It's a problem with them. A genius person, he can present a complex truth in such a simple way that even a child can understand. That's genius, isn't it? Einstein said that, no? Einstein said, who is a genius man? A genius man is who can explain the theory of relativity to a 5-year-old child. Nobody can. Nobody of us can do it. A genius. That's Prabhupada. The mark of genius is simplicity and not complexity. That's how it goes. So, this is very deep statement. Now, you know what Prabhupada is saying? Prabhupada is saying your doubts will be solved by realization. Now, here's the point. You can also solve doubts by reading books. Isn't it? Doubts means doubts. And the obvious solution is knowledge. So you can read Bhagavatam, you can read commentaries, you can do so many things and you can solve your doubts. But some doubts you cannot solve by reading. After some point, reading books and taking knowledge have a limit. Aprapya mansasaha. Prabhupada quotes Upanishads. That realm from where the mind returns back. The words return back. There's a limit of knowledge. After that information doesn't work. You need a different kind of knowledge, a different source of knowledge. So some doubts cannot be solved by knowledge. For example, Krishna's holy name and Krishna is the same. Okay? All of you know this? How many of you know this? Well, I would like to say you know this and you don't know this. Is it okay? Makes sense? That's a complete statement. So we know this theoretically, but at the realized platform we don't know. We've not seen that, we've not realized that. So we know and we don't know. How many times you have heard we are not this body, we are soul? We know this and we don't know this. So there are levels of knowledge. Prabhupada says in his book, Pratyaksh, Paroksh, Aparoksh, Adhokshaj, Aprakrit, levels of knowledge. We know this according to scriptures, but it is not our knowledge. It's a borrowed knowledge from scriptures. It is not us who know this. And to transcend from a borrowed knowledge to an experiential knowledge, we need help of holy names. You see the point? To make knowledge into realization, we need help of holy names. Otherwise, we'll have some kind of lingering doubts. Till the time we don't ourselves see holy name is Krishna, a mind will have 0.00001% doubt somewhere in the corner. Is it like that? And to get rid of that tiny fraction of doubt, we need strength of holy name. Actually, that's why it is said the final stroke is not knowledge, it is holy names. The mercy of holy names. That will accomplish perfection. It's never knowledge. Are you understanding, all of you? You're on the same page? Okay, helps all doubts. So these doubts can be solved. Is this Krishna? Holy names will help you realize. We know this is Krishna, but we also don't know because we can't talk to him. He doesn't talk to us now. He is there. We can see him. Actually, we cannot see him. He can see us. We cannot see him fully, but he can see us. So, that final perfection will come by holy names. Okay, the third thing is Kirtana Prabhave Smaran Hoide. You were talking about remembrance. So you see the point, by chanting, by reading Bhagavatam also we can remember Krishna. By coming to temple also we can remember Krishna. But remembrance of Krishna through holy name, that's special. And there are two types of remembrance. Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita 8.5 purport. Prabhupada says the word remembering is important. Remembrance of Krishna is not possible for impure soul who has not practiced Krishna consciousness in devotional service. Therefore, one should constantly, incessantly chant the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, so there are two types of remembrance. One is forced remembrance, another is spontaneous remembrance. What we are doing now is mostly forced remembrance, isn't it? We come here, we try to make ourselves remember. Why I am saying forced remembrance? Because now for us, what is spontaneous? Forgetting Krishna is spontaneous. It's not remembering Krishna is spontaneous. You have to see there is a difference. We can say I am remembering Krishna. Okay. I forget but I also remember. But then the point is not remember and forgetting. The point is what is spontaneous. Krishna is not seeing what is, we are there remembering or forgetting him. That's not he. You see, Krishna is very intelligent. Just like Krishna doesn't see what you give him, Krishna sees what you keep with yourself. He's not interested what you give him. He sees what you keep with yourself. You can give all your money, you can give all your property, but if you keep your false ego with you, no mercy. Some mercy, okay, but not exactly what you want. So he doesn't see. So he will see whether your remembrance is spontaneous or not. That's the idea. Rasvarjam rasopiyasya. Where is your interest? Interest brings spontaneity, isn't it? That's what Krishna is looking for. Are you interested in him or somewhere else? You might be remembering him 23 hours, but 1 hour if you forget him, that's okay. But 1 hour, if that's spontaneously you're forgetting him, there's an interest there, then there's a problem there. Okay, so Kirtana Prabhave Smaran Oive. This is said by Bhakti Siddhanta in one of his songs, famous song. And he says, chanting is gateway to spontaneous remembrance. That's the idea. We might, and that happens, I mean to say, new devotees who join the temple, they're 24 hours engaged in service of God. That's very nice. They remember Him because the fact they are here in temple and devotees. But the point is, are they spontaneously remembering Krishna? No, it doesn't happen like that. No, for new devotees, their mind is going somewhere else. Krishna is sitting inside, he's seeing. So that's special in chanting holy names. Chanting holy names brings spontaneous remembrance very quickly and very effectively. That's how it goes. The fourth reason is chanting strengthens the soul. This is Bhagavad Gita 3.42. You might have read this, but you might have skipped this, but it's very important. Prabhupada says, even though soul is master of intelligence and mind, the senses also, still unless it is strengthened and by the association with Krishna, in Krishna consciousness, there is every chance of falling down due to agitated mind. You see, the Prabhupada says, unless it is strengthened by association with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. This statement is important. Prabhupada brings the point of strengthening the soul. Now here is a question. This verse is talking about hierarchy of senses, mind, intelligence, soul. You know that verse, no? Indriya param mana manasastu para buddhir parasastu isa. You know that, no? Bhagavad Gita. Above senses is mind, above mind is intelligence, above intelligence is saha, soul, or maybe Paramatma. So Prabhupada says we have to strengthen all quarters of existence. Anything weak, we are prone to attack. Isn't it? Maya is ready to attack. So we strengthen senses through renunciation, we strengthen mind through rules and regulations, we strengthen intelligence through philosophy, we strengthen soul by chanting. And that is why all these things are important. We have to follow rules, regulations, we have to understand philosophy, we have to chant. It's a package. Anything you leave, that quarter will become weak. But the most important is chanting. That's why Prabhupada says, you might strengthen your intelligence, mind, senses, but if you don't strengthen your soul, you will not be able to make it up. Now here is a question. How does philosophy strengthen intelligence? How does philosophy strengthen intelligence?
Removes the ignorance.
Huh?
Removes the ignorance.
Okay, philosophy strengthens intelligence by giving knowledge, isn't it? Knowledge. How does rules and regulations strengthen mind? By giving what? Okay, yeah. Yeah, determination. Okay, fine. Huh? Discipline. Okay, yeah. How does renunciation strengthen senses? By giving what? Okay, detachment and determination, yeah. So, rules, regulations strengthens the mind by putting limitations, by protecting us. How does chanting strengthen the soul? Here's the question. By giving what? Pleasure. Okay, that's one thing. Pleasure, yeah. Before that, that's the ultimate answer. You're right. Yeah. This is good answer.
It is the food for the soul.
Huh?
That is the food for the soul.
Oh, this is all poetry. I'm not interested in poetry. Food for soul, become sincere. This is all poetry.
Association.
Nobody is okay. Well, how do you can't understand anything by this, isn't it? You got my point? So, okay. Chanting strengthens the soul by giving willpower. Willpower, sankalp. Soul has willpower to do something, isn't it? We might plan by intelligence, we might dream something through mind, we might do something, but if we don't have willpower, everything crashes. So chanting strengthens our willpower. We can do it. At the stage of sadhana, chanting strengthens the soul by strengthening the willpower, by giving willpower. At the stage of perfection or nearing perfection, chanting strengthens the soul by giving us rasa, that pleasure. So both answers has to be there. And that's what Krishna says, yoga kshema vahameham. I maintain my devotees. And there the comment is, how does Krishna maintain his devotees? By giving willpower and by giving rasa. Prabhupada mentions there. That's how it strengthens the soul. So if you don't have willpower, everything crashes. No matter how much philosophy you know, no matter whatever, no matter, if you don't have willpower, you'll not get a for Mangalarti. No matter how much you have, you might have done PhD thesis on Mangalarti, but it will never happen. It doesn't go like that. So that's why chanting is most important duty, isn't it? And the fifth thing is, chanting is a best service. Why chanting is the best service? Bhajner madhya shresht naam sankirtan, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Of all limbs, naam sankirtan is shresht. Why? This Prabhupada says in one of his lectures, Prabhupada says, Prabhupada is commenting for Mahaprabhu, he is for Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada says, he is offering prayer, my dear Lord, son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna. Krishna accepted the sonhood of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. So he is very much pleased if anyone addresses Krishna as son of Vasudev. Vasudev means son of Vasudev, and if someone addresses him Yashodanandan, Vrajajana Ranjan, he is very happy, because when you address Krishna in relationship with pure devotees, he is very nice, he is very happy. This is a beautiful thing. Chanting is most important because it's the best service. Why it's the best service? Because the aim of service is to please your beloved. That's the aim, isn't it? Sometimes you can please your beloved without doing anything. We are supposed to do something to please him. Sometimes you can please him without doing anything, without any service. Is there an example for that? I just told. I've told you. Radharani. She doesn't need to do anything. Her existence is pleasing to Krishna. She can sit. That's all. Krishna is pleased. We need to do something, because our existence is not pleasing to him. Do something, your existence is really not pleasing. You got some problems there, serious problems. Chanting is the best service. It pleases Krishna. That's why we say Hare Krishna. Chanting Radha's name pleases Krishna. Chanting Krishna's name pleases Radha. That's why we chant Krishna's name. I chant Krishna's name not exactly to please Krishna, but to please Radha. That Prabhupada quotes Narottam Das Thakur. What is Krishna Name? Radha Name Krishna Pai, Krishna Name Radhika Charan. Narottam Das Thakur says in Pratna. If you say Krishna Name Gane Bhai, if you say Krishna's name, Radhika Charan Pai, Radha Rani becomes. So when you say Krishna, actually you are addressing Hare. When you are chanting Hare, you are addressing Krishna. Or in other words, you are chanting Krishna for Radha Rani to hear. You are chanting Hare for Krishna to hear. So it's something complex. So that's why chanting is the best service. It pleases your beloved, your deities. That's what the goal of devotion is. That's all. So that's why chanting is most important. You see the point there? Why I ask you a question? These are very important points. Keep in mind. Okay, the next question is how to chant.
When you say chanting pleases your beloved, are you referring in terms of, so when you say Hare Krishna, Hare is pleasing Krishna and Krishna is pleasing Radha?
Yeah, more. Krishna also pleases Krishna. So that reflects for him. But if you chant Krishna, Radha Rani, we are chanting Krishna to make Radha pleased, and if Radha is pleased, he is more pleased. It's all pleasure. And devotion is all about increasing the pleasure of your beloved deity. It's not just pleasing them. We are not interested in pleasing. That's love. Love means increasing their pleasure. If you say they are pleased, that's wrong. No, love has no end. If you put limits to love, that's not love. They can never be pleased because they want to be pleased more and more, and we want to please more and more and more and more. That's how it goes. That's Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, how to chant? This is another quotation, and we were speaking about hearing and chanting. Chanting pleases the Lord most, and Prabhupada comes with another thing. Prabhupada says revival of dormant affection does not depend on mechanical hearing and chanting. Prabhupada says love of God does not depend simply on chanting. Although we just said chanting is the most important duty, and Prabhupada comes here and he says, come on guys, you got it wrong. Chanting is not the only thing which pleases Krishna most. Then what is that? It solely depends on the causeless mercy of Lord. When the Lord is fully satisfied with the sincere efforts of devotees, the idea is God is pleased by your attitude. while chanting. You see the point? It's not chanting per se. That's why Prabhupada says, not mechanical system. It's not chanting because we see Mahaprabhu's Leela. Who was that? Rambhadra. Who was that? Who was chanting Ram, Ram, Ram 24 hours? You know him, no? Rambhadra, who accompanied Sanatana Goswami to visit Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. And Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt, I don't know, one of them. And Raghunath Bhatt, he was very impressed by this person, Rambhadra. He was saying he was chanting 24 hours Ram, even in sleep. And he came to Mahaprabhu and he introduced, you see this guy is chanting Ram 24 hours in sleep, he's so impressive. Mahaprabhu even didn't look at him. Because chanting is not the most important thing. Chanting with the proper attitude, that's the most important thing. Chanting is important, but with the proper attitude. And that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in first song of Sharanagati. Sharanagati is a book of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He writes in the first song, what's that? Shadang Sharanagati Jahar, Tahar Pratna Sune Nand Kumar. Anybody who is surrendered to Lord, anybody who has that attitude of surrender, his prayers reach Krishna. His holy names reach Krishna. Otherwise, your holy name will not even reach him, let alone hearing your holy names. It will not reach. Maya will put a curtain there. She will not allow your holy names to go there. So that's attitude. So the question is, what is the attitude while chanting? If that's the most important element. And Prabhupada says, attitude is a key for advancement in devotional service. If you read introduction. So what's the attitude while chanting? So that will answer our next question, how to chant. Okay, what's the attitude? The first thing is, this you all know, Abhinatvam Nam. We should chant with understanding, holy name is Krishna himself. Now, let me put it in some other way. Krishna's holy name is Krishna himself. The idea is, the attitude while chanting is, we have to understand we are in meeting with God. There's a meeting going on. Or let's say in American parlance, conference call. People like conference call here. We're in conference call. It's a serious issue. We are with God face to face. We can't see him, but he can see us. And that's so important. That's why this concept is important. That's why Prabhupada says we should worship holy name with great attention, just like we are worshipping deity. We have to always remember we are in presence of God when we are chanting holy names. Or in other words, so in words of Jagdanand Pandit, Krishna is dancing on a tongue. We all have heard this, but we have to be conscious of this. That's more important while chanting. That's the first thing we should never forget. The next thing is, when we are chanting, we should remember Krishna is also listening. It's not just me and holy name. No. Any situation where you omit Krishna, that's illusion. If you think I am chanting and I am listening, no. Who else is listening? Krishna. Actually, it's the other way around. Krishna is listening and you're not listening. Isn't it? We all listen something. We're out, we're spaced out. Yeah, you know. So then, I've just proved you. So why we can't listen? Because we are not conscious of the fact that he is listening. That's why we sometimes become spaced out. We are not conscious of him. As soon as you become unconscious of him, Maya tare chhapatya thari, you'll forget. Maya will capture you. That's the idea. The idea is, when you are chanting, Krishna is hearing and you are hearing. Actually, Krishna is hearing first. Before you hear, Krishna hears. That's Sankhya. If Krishna doesn't hear, you cannot hear. If he doesn't see, you cannot see. The first information goes to him, and then from it's processed and it comes to us. We know Sankhya. Sankhya is like that. Without his help, we can't do anything. Yad anugraha santi, na santi yad upekshaya. Bhagavatam, famous favorite verse of Madhva. Everything depends on his mercy. If he starts neglecting, not everything will cease to exist. Even your very soul can cease to exist. Madhva comes to this point also. So that's, remember Krishna is hearing. And you know, that's more important. Your hearing is important or his hearing? What's more important? He listens or you hear? Listen. His listening is more important. So when we chant, the idea is you should always think, okay, I might not be able to listen or not, Krishna is hearing me. I should be very attentive. He is listening. If you think like that, you'll be more attentive. Rather than if you think only I am listening. No. That will make a lot of difference. You can try chanting and it will just reverse your conception. He is hearing when I am chanting. So I should chant properly. You see the point? Krishna is listening, remember that. The third thing is chanting is the best glorification. This Prabhupada says in Adi Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita 7.95, famous statement by Prabhupada, very deep. There are books written on this statement. Whole Bhaktisiddhanta's life was dedicated to this statement. If you can figure out the meaning of this statement, your life becomes perfect. I'm not going into details, but Lord Chaitanya never tried to be the master of holy name. He taught us how to be servant of holy name. And this is a very deep idea. You go and think about this idea, no problem. But the point here is chanting is the best glorification. And how chanting is the best glorification? Because when we chant Krishna, when we chant properly, keep on chanting, slowly what will happen is Krishna is like a bud and then it blossoms. And from that bud, what comes out? From that bud, so many other holy names appear. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes a song, Krishna Tua Aneka Sarup. We know theoretically Krishna, the name of Krishna is a supreme name, isn't it? We know that, no? It is Mahamantra. Why? Because it has all mantras. Krishna name has all names, isn't it? We know that, no? But we don't have a realization. When we chant properly, when you chant Hare Krishna, as soon as you chant Krishna, all of the names will come. Govinda, Gopijana, Vallabha, Yashoda, Nandan, they'll come to your mind because it is said when you chant the names, what will appear? Name, form, qualities. When qualities appear, other names come along with that. That's why chanting is the best glorification. Because chanting Krishna will help you to glorify Him in so many ways. Automatically, it will lead you to that. So we have to remember this. We are glorifying Him while chanting. It's not just prayer. It's not just Krishna, engage me in your service, engage me in your service, engage in your service. Prabhupada says chanting is best prayer and best glorification. Read Science of Self-Realization. In fact, it's not about prayers, by the way. It's more of glorification. You see the point? Prayers we can keep on doing, engage me in your service, that's very nice. We have to do, it should be spontaneous. But the idea here is to glorify Him. We are praying to Him to glorify Him. Anything devoid of glorification is not devotion. So we are praying to Him, Krishna, engage me in your service to glorify Him. That you have to figure out how. How we are praying to glorify Him. What's the connection? Go and think about this, some good questions. These are good questions. So how am I praying is glorifying Him? That's a good question. Everything has to be connected with glorification. Chanting is the best glorification. And the mood while chanting is prayerful mood, that you all know. I don't need to tell this. And grateful. Grateful means, you know this word comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kritartha. Kritartha hoive nath. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also says that song. So gratefulness, we should always feel grateful while chanting. There are mantras in Hari Bhakti Vilas where before lifting the bead bag we have to chant that mantra. We are even grateful to the beads and the bead bag that they are helping us discipline chanting. We are grateful that Krishna is allowing us to chant. That has to be there, otherwise we miss the whole opportunity to chant. So mood should be there. Of course, okay. This is quality of chanting. What about quantity? These are both, no, quality, quantity. What about that? There are some practical tips. I'll go quickly this. Do not chant fast. Do not chant in mind. Don't try to finish chanting. It is said if you try to finish chanting, chanting will finish you. It is said. It's not my statement. It is in Prem Vivarth. Jagdanath Pandit says. The whole conception of finishing chanting is wrong. Of course, on a practical level, we try to finish our rounds. That's always there. But the conception is not there. Yeah, 16 rounds, you have to finish. But after finishing, we don't think we have finished chanting. Prabhupada says 16 rounds on the beads, innumerable rounds off the beads. Chanting can never finish, because chanting is beyond space and time. It's Krishna. You can't limit it. That conception is not good. Don't chant fast, don't chant in mind. Chant properly. Chant in such a way so that you are induced to remember Him. It might take more time, no problem. That's okay. 15, half an hour more, that's okay. It's not necessary to sit and chant. That's a fallacy. You have to sit and chant. It depends on individual. Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to walk. Bhaktisanta used to walk so many times. Prabhupada used to walk. We all know. The idea is there is a sutra in Vedanta Sutra. Mano anukulyeva. In what position should you chant? Vyasadeva says, in whatever position your mind is favorable and happy to chant. That's all. You can hang yourself upside down and chant also. If you feel okay, if you can chant nicely, you can do that. No problem. You can choose any position. That's all. But don't sleep. That's all. That's all. It's nice to chant while lying down. Never sleep while chanting. Sleeping is the worst offense we can do, because chanting means you are inviting Lord and you go to sleep. It's almost like you are inviting a guest. Yeah, it's very nice, and you go to sleep. He's waiting, what's happening, Actually, all commentators, they say, Harinam Chintamani says, don't sleep, do not be distracted while chanting. That's, of course, very subjective. Sometimes chant more. It's not that 16 rounds are over, your chanting is finished, and then we don't even see the beat back. No. It's like Ekadashi, we chant for 25 rounds. Sometimes you can chant more. If you have time, after finishing your services, chant sometimes 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 64, 100 rounds, if you can. Sometimes chanting long hours makes an effect if you have done, You slowly enter holy names, enter, and there has to be practice. Do not drive and chant. I have lost many devotees, my god brothers. They drive and chant and they met an accident. Do not do that. People like to drive and car. Don't do that. You will meet an accident. I mean to say, you might think I will not have an accident. No person on this planet thinks he will meet an accident before he meets. Don't take risk. And people chant while riding a bike, In India, it's like that. Like with one finger he's manipulating accelerator, another finger is. You can't do that. That's crazy. It's madness. Just don't chant. That's all. Yes.
When Mataji once told me, it's so nice that I lived in England, but the thing when you drive, you're shifting with your left hand, so you can chant.
Oh.
Whereas you're with our right hand, so you can't chant.
Yeah, we see this is like evidence, People are doing there in ISKCON. You might be doing, all of you, I'm pretty sure. Don't do that. It's a crazy stuff, and don't do that. You can't even chant properly. You can't even chant. It's an offense. You can't even focus. You're driving, your attention is divided. Create an environment to chant exclusively. It's very important. If you can't chant in your house, go out in the park. You have to create a space. What is temple? Temple is trying to give you a space to chant, isn't it? Temple is a building. Let's talk on practical terms. It's a space. Krishna is there, so that when you come, automatically your mind is 50% job is done. It's reframed. So in your house, the house is the worst place to chant, isn't it? Am I right? Kids, wife, that, this, phone, TV, what's happening? If you feel it's a nice place, you are blessed. If you have a good house. But the point is, there's so many distractions. It's always good to make a space. That's why people had small temple room in their house, so that they go sit and chant and people don't disturb. Okay, and traditionally they used to have. But you have a temple nice here, you can come here, no problem. Or you can go in a park, or you can choose a time where you can chant peacefully. That's why morning we chant. It's all about space and time. Exclusively we are finding something. Okay, now here's the last question. I'll finish here. What is good chanting? Now you're chanting with proper attitude and this and that, and it's okay. Suppose, let's take theoretically you understood the class and you're applying it now. Perfectly, 100%. You got it. How do I know my chanting is good or not? How do I know I'm making progress in chanting? Are there any symptoms, objective symptoms, not just subjective, so that we can understand my chanting is good or not? We have to know this, otherwise we don't know what we are doing. Okay. Can you tell me, just quickly and then I'll finish. How do we know my chanting is good?
You will develop more desire to chant.
Okay, good. That's one thing. You desire more, desire to chant more. Okay, yeah. Anything else? That's good. What? I can't hear.
Questions, you get realization, and then you get the questions answered.
Give me some symptoms. Is this the same thing? Something unique to chanting. And then we know chanting is working, because if you give some symptoms which other things can also do, then you're confused whether chanting is doing this or whether that is doing.
You look forward to the chanting. You look forward to the chanting.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, he says.
You feel happy.
He says. Happy you feel in music also. There's nice kirtan, you are happy. Not because of holy name, but because of music. More of that. Happy is a very confusing thing. We are sometimes happy chanting is finished. What about that? It's a very confusing thing. Happiness is an effect of chanting, no doubt, but it's not what we're looking for in chanting to judge what is my chanting. There's a difference in that.
There's a connection with what you're doing. You're chanting, you just walk away feeling some degree of satisfaction that there was no connection with Krishna. I mean, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah. So that okay, fine. I got your point, but hey, this is a class to describe. I need something in words so that we can convey to them. Huh? Okay, good. Chanting enthusiast to serve. Okay, fine. That I accept. Anything else? Quick.
There is a verse that says Adavshuddha.
No verse. Give me some. No verse, no Prabhupada, no Krishna. I want logic. That's all. Huh? Increase?
Increases focus on any activity that
Oh, your focus is increased? Okay, yeah, that's enthusement in service. Okay, well, I'll just tell you.
Feeling of dependency on Krishna.
Yeah, sometimes we feel dependent when we do something wrong. We feel so guilt, and then we feel so dependent. That also happens. Happens, no? Your answer is correct. I'm not saying they're wrong, but I need something unique with chanting. That you got the point there. Otherwise, we'll be confused whether that is suppose if you're diseased and if you start taking allopathy, if you start taking some modern medicine and you start taking Ayurveda and you start taking homeopathy, you get treated. You don't know which medicine is working. So something there is chanting we need.
faith is increased, then your dependency on Krishna.
Oh, faith you can also increase by Bhagavatam, and other things can also do that, no? You see the point what I'm making.
Develop distance towards.
There is something in chanting which is unique to it, which will you get by chanting. And that we have to pinpoint. If we can pinpoint that, then we are convinced we are advancing. It is happening by chanting only, and I'm increasing.
Your material needs decrease.
Yeah, but you see the point. It's not unique to chanting. It's okay, but okay, fine. I'll tell you. Forget it. Huh? I already told you one answer. I already told you spontaneous remembrance. I already told you. One thing you are looking for in chanting is spontaneous remembrance. And you know what do you mean by spontaneous remembrance? I told you forced remembrance. Spontaneous remembrance is when that means if you are having spontaneous remembrance, then what will happen is you will try to forget him, but you will not be able to forget him. That means your remembrance is spontaneous. So chanting will bring spontaneous remembrance. Chanting will make you remember about Krishna. No matter how much you try to forget him, you will not be able to do that. That's the sign we are looking for. Until unless we don't reach this sign, we should not stop endeavoring to chant properly. And we should not be confused my chanting is good or ideal. It might be okay, but not ideal. We have to go ahead. We are looking for this symptom. Just like a doctor is looking for some symptoms to declare this patient is all right. There are some general symptoms, okay, but we are looking for specific things. If you have a pneumonia, I'm looking, so I'm a doctor. If you have pneumonia, I'm not looking that your fever goes down or you get your appetite back. That's general. I'm looking whether your lungs have crepitations or not. Stethoscope, crepitations. If your lungs don't have that sound, crepitations, yes. So if we are striving for spontaneous remembrance, name, form, qualities, pastimes. You're looking for that. Not just sometimes sporadic spontaneity. That should happen. If that's happening, even if a shadow of spontaneous remembrance is coming, you're advancing. If that's not coming, you got to do some homework there. Okay, the next thing is, here is a question. If the holy name touches your soul, what's going to happen? This question makes sense? Now holy name is touching a mind. Or maybe it's going from here, coming from here, something, I don't know. If it touches your soul, what's going to happen? Any answers for that? Huh? No shloka.
Tears.
Huh?
Tears.
Okay, yeah, so can you qualify answer? What tears? For what? What do you mean?
Spontaneous tears.
No. Can you speak? Why tears for what? Tears for what?
Tears of love and separation.
Tears of love and separation. Okay, yeah, you can. You are around the point, but I need the point. Okay. Krishna Prema is, anybody can give that answer. It's a very broad thing, you know. All answers you can put in that. Krishna Prema is answer for all questions. So, you see the point? Your answer is correct, but it's not to the pinpoint. My question have multiple choice, but you have to give me the best answer. That's the point there. Okay, so what will happen? Prabhupada tells that. I'll give you. Prabhupada speaks beautiful statement, and you remember that in Nectar of Devotion, by the way. Yeah, and I'll just what?
Yeah, when Krishna touches your soul, you can feel it. Just tell it.
When holy name touches your soul, what's the first thing will happen is you'll become sad. You'll not become happy. Sad. The day holy name touches your soul, you'll become very, 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 very sad. It's not happiness, by the way. But of course, that sadness has got happiness. That's another thing. But that's not happiness. Because as soon as holy name touches your soul, immediately you will start remembering everything about Krishna. As soon as you remember Krishna, you feel separation. He's somewhere else, I am somewhere else. Even if you're standing in temple, you're separated from him. Your whole existence, your whole anarthas are separating you from him. We are there, but we are not related to him now. You see the point? We'll come to realize that fact. And we will come to realize his reality. And we'll become very sad. That's Mahaprabhu. 24 years sadness. That's what we are looking for. Sadness and happiness. Both. When these both things happen, then this means you are advancing. Prabhupada says, Nectar of Devotion, chapter 47. It's a beautiful line I was reading, and it's such a beautiful. Prabhupada says, in devotional service, without strong attraction to Lord, there may sometimes be smiling and other symptoms of happiness, bracket, but never stress or lamentation. Without strong attraction to Krishna, without relationship, you can feel happiness. But if you want to feel sorrow, you have to be related to him. You can't do that. You can be happy by meeting a child, but only mother will feel the sorrow when he's hungry. Only mother can experience, am I right? No other woman can experience that because you feel the separation. So that's the idea. We are looking for sorrow and happiness mixed. We are happy because we are fortunate, we are chanting holy names, Krishna has mercifully given us, but we are sad because still we have not made a connection with him, or he's not connected with us. We are so away from him in material world. Both things we are looking for. If you are only happy, then you have to go ahead. It's not touching your soul. You are just getting a shadow of chanting of holy name. That happiness is not wrong, it's not false. You can't say it's false because you're sincere. It's not either true because it's not mixed with sorrow. What's it? It's a shadow. That's called namabhas. That is namabhas. Shadow of holy name, which gives you a part of effect, happiness. It will not give you whole effect, sadness. And that's why you see Prabhupada's picture. Prabhupada is always like that, isn't it? When a reporter asks Prabhupada, why are you always like that? Prabhupada says, this is ecstasy. You can't understand. The sorrow and happiness mixed. Just like female, when female is pregnant. Okay, Mataji, when you are all kids. So okay, when you are pregnant, what you were happy or you were sad? Well, when a female is in delivery room, she's very painful. She's happy also, or she's sad also. You ask any female. I'm into Sama Brahmachari, but I know this because I was a doctor and I worked in OBG, gynae department. So you ask any female after the first child, will you have another child? She will say no. Absolutely no. It's a worst experience. It's so painful, worse than death, but then she has another child. And another, because there is happiness and sorrow both, This pain, sorrow, happiness. That's devotion is dynamic. Devotion is not limited to happiness. You reach Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu is sometimes happy, sometimes lamenting, he sometimes grieves, sometimes sorrow, sometimes fear. Your mind has to be bewildered while chanting. If you get my point, it's not focused on holy name. That's what we are looking for, by the way. We are not looking for focus of mind on holy name. We are looking at distraction in mind through holy name on Krishna. Or in spiritual world, whatever. That's what we are looking for. We are not there, but we are looking for that. But if you don't look for that, it will never going to come. You see the point? It's never. Then we are looking for happiness, and it's there. Okay, my chanting is good, and I'm done. No, you are not done. So you see the point? There's a difference. And the third thing is, last thing is, good chanting leads to more chanting and more service. This we all know. Prabhupada says you'll become enthusiastic to serve and this and that. Okay. So having said that, I think numbering is wrong. This is the third. Yeah, this is the third one. So this is what we are looking for: spontaneous remembrance, sadness and sorrow, enthusiasm to chant and serve. This we all experience. That's okay. But the other two we are looking for idle chanting. And the last thing is, whatever I explained in this seminar, how to chant, why it's important, what is good chanting. If you want to understand all these things, one thing you can do is learn chanting by chanting. Prabhupada says become expert in chanting. Chant. So that's how. Let's become perfect in chanting. And then help others to perfect. That's what is chanting of holy names. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. Anything you want to ask? Or I'll just. Can you just wait for a second? And I just want to tell you something, and then you can all go. So here I have this. I have this pen drive. If anybody wants this is a 16 GB pen drive, and I have like 300 hours of audio in this. Many seminars like this on art of service, on whole Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and I like to give it systematically. That's my style. So put it logically. That's what convinces me also, and it will convince you also. 300 hours of audio, 16 hours of video. And that those videos are not only just devotion but science and spirituality. I'm a scientist. In America, my service is to preach to scientists. I'm a geneticist and a doctor. So I've given seminars on consciousness, machines, quantum and spirituality, life. So all these things are there in this, along with so many devotional topics. If you want, anybody wants, I'm more than happy. You can collect from me. And there are some books, if you want to have a look. This is one, Science Fails to Explain Life. This is about science, the story of life, how we were convinced that life is molecules, then we were convinced life is chemicals, then we were convinced life is genes, and then we were convinced life is information. But then suddenly some people came in science and they switched all over, and now we are convinced genes do not exist. It has gone out of the way. There's something else, something weird is going on. And people are convinced life is not matter, chemical molecules, it's more than that. It's coming from science, it's not coming from Vedas. How science is changing, what is the cutting edge, and how we can understand life is separate from matter, what Prabhupada wanted. So this is some synopsis of that. You can teach to your children, isn't it? Children ask, and you can understand. Many people think about that, and you can preach. So this is one book. This is another book, Mighty Efforts. Whatever I talked is from this book at large. I don't have many copies, but it's there. Anybody wants this, you can take this. If you don't have cash, I can swipe the card for you. And again, thank you very much for coming and listening. Hare Krishna. Thank you. God, Hare Krishna. What's happening? Prabhu, get up. Can't do like that. I would like